I love the NHS. What post-war anti-government said, as John said, achieved for this country was incredible. From the destruction and ashes of World War II, that Labour government built a welfare state that is, to this day, the envy of the world. 65 years on, this coalition government that no one voted for is seeking to destroy what Wrigley and Devon worked so hard for. Everything they strive for in their political lives, everything they achieved in setting up the welfare state. The Tories are finally bringing about their golden dream. They've given themselves 5 years to achieve that goal. Their perfect world is one where a rump of a welfare state exists, where public services are a thing of the past, where private health insurers prosper, and where the city bankers become ever greedier and laugh all the way to the bank. Greed, profit, privatisation, bonuses, all words we can associate with this coalition. Words I want banished from the government. We should be striving for a government driven single-mindedly to achieve social justice. As a GP, I fought from day one the undemocratic, the unwanted, the destructive Tory privatising Health and Social Care Act. I knew exactly what Lansley and his well-heeled millionaire friends in the Cabinet wanted to do to our NHS when they announced their plans in July 2010. NHS workers and the public were not hoodwinked by their hollow promises. We were not taken in by their schmoozing and kindly words to patients and doctors. We knew exactly what that bill was intending to do. Privatise the NHS, privatise our NHS. That is why we fought with all our might for 2 years, but we were let down by many influential groups of people. People say often, how did we let this happen? Well, we were let down. We were let down first by that group of politicians who could have stopped the NHS privatisation in its tracks, the Liberal Democrats. Those sat on the green benches, those desperate to continue walking the corridors of power in Whitehall, those desperate to keep their ministerial calm, sold their souls to the devil, sold whatever principles they had left, sold any chance of electoral success in 2015, and like sheep, they did as they were told and voted with the Tories. Actions speak louder than words. Votes count and words are very hollow. Liberal Democrats, the Tories' human shield and weapon of mass destruction for the NHS. The Liberal Democrats are about as popular as George Osborne at an Olympic medal ceremony. We'll not forget what the Liberal Democrats did to the NHS in our country. We will never forget that. We were also let down by the media. Where were the BBC? Failed to dig deep into what was happening, failed to highlight to their licence fee payers in any meaningful way exactly how the NHS would be stolen from right under our feet. The BBC have a lot to answer for. We were also, and I'm ashamed to say, let down by the medical leadership in this country. Their now discredited tactic of critical engagement failed miserably and allowed the Tory cabinet to say, doctors are working with us. Doctors are engaging with the reforms. They want this bill to help improve care. Well, we didn't. And our medical leaders failed the profession by cozying up to the ministers and enjoying invites to Downing Street to discuss strategy. One doctor stood out and opposed the Tory bill, and that was Dr. Claire Gerardo. Chair of the Royal College of General Practitioners, a bright, shining light amongst many dimmer light bulbs in the medical profession. Claire, I salute you, because I know the pressures brought to bear on you by the powers that be. We even saw when health bill was in deep trouble, ministers panicking, ringing round medical Royal College presidents, threatening to remove their much-cherished charity status. That's how bad it got. And don't believe the mantra that the NHS is bankrupt that we hear time and time again. Last year, there was a £2 billion NHS surplus. The Department of Health promised on their website, still there now, that savings will be reinvested in patient care. Well, that's a fib. This £2 billion surplus last year went back to George Osborne's treasury. I don't think there's much patience there going on in the treasury, is there? And we've heard recently from social service leaders that a further £800 million is to be slashed from the social care budget, hitting the poor and the vulnerable very hard. Shame on you, Jeremy Hunt. GPs were promised so much by the Tory-led coalition, but they were all hollow promises. They promised that local GPs would have choices over services and how they would be tendered out. They would be told that the NHS would be a preferred provider, but that's not true. Medical leaders believed them and welcomed our words, how wrong they were. We now see Lance's words melt away, quicker than you could say, have a cushy, highly paid directorship in the city. Earlier this year, the Tories brought forward more legislation meaning GPs will be forced to put local services out to tender, giving a huge advantage to large corporate city companies with massive backroom resources to bid for contracts. Local small providers and charities with limited resources have no chance tendering against these entities. A level playing field, no chance, just as the Tories wanted. So what can you do? Well, I urge you today to talk to your friends, neighbours, anyone about what you hear today. Find out who your local GP commissioning group is. You can go to their board meetings, their public meetings. Submit and ask questions about tendering out, about the sale of services to the private sector. Ask about GP conflict of interest and their impact on decision making. Ask to see their conflict of interest policy and the declarations of interest. Write to local newspapers. That's really important. Tell them what's happening and keep writing to your MP. Get your MP worried by getting your friends to write too. A flurry of letters on a topic gets them really anxious, particularly in a marginal seat, and the NHS will be a huge issue in the next election. I had a patient the other day in my surgery who had a hearing test at Specsavers. The company that's won a lucrative NHS contract to provide hearing tests and hearing aids, all hidden behind the guise of quotes NHS services. Their website says, just see your GP and ask them to refer you to your local Specsavers hearing centre. No mention of the excellent local hospital services which are available locally too. And if you have a more complex problem that they've discovered, then guess what will happen when you go to Specsavers? They'll send you back to your GP and ask them to refer you to a local NHS hospital. Double cost for the NHS. Madness. These NHS multi-million-pound contracts, farmed down to the private sector, are impossible to get information about because they all hide behind the excuse of commercial confidentiality. Well, it's our taxpayers' money that's funding that. These services we have a right to know about. Politicians take heed about this lack of accountability with our money. One of the actions you can take is to join Keep NHS Public, which is stalled just outside these doors. Join or set up a local NHS, Keep NHS group. I'm proud to know very well co-founders, Dr. Jackie Davis and Professor Wendy Savage, who are here today, both heroes of mine. What they've done for the NHS is fantastic. And together, Jackie and I have written chapters to this book which lays bare what's happened to the NHS. How the NHS has been betrayed by the people I mentioned. All the profits go to Keep NHS Public. And I urge you to take a look at the book outside on the bookstore. Friends, do not give up. Do not stop fighting. Do not say the NHS is finished. It isn't. We will continue to fight for a publicly funded, publicly provided and publicly accountable NHS with all our might. As the late and great NHS campaigner Professor Harry Keane said, the government intends to hold the NHS underwater until the bubbles stop rising. But the bubbles will never stop rising. Bevan would expect no less of us. In 2 weeks' time, on the 65th anniversary of the NHS, he will be turning in his grave at the political attack on the NHS by this ideologically driven Tory-led coalition. Let us do him proud and go out there and save our NHS from the hands of the greedy city corporates and ensure that we keep our NHS public. Thank you.